Life is tough. You've experienced moments that seemed impossible to overcome. Maybe it's been physical pain, emotional struggles, or setbacks that feel like they'll never end. But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. It's not something to fear or avoid. Pain, in all its forms, has a unique way of shaping you into someone stronger, someone more resilient, someone capable of achieving things you once thought were beyond your reach. In this video, we're going to break down how you can push through the hardest times in your life. We're going to explore the mindset and practical tools that will help you build unshakable resilience and turn every challenge into an opportunity for growth. You'll learn how to look pain straight in the face, refuse to back down, and come out the other side even stronger than before. This isn't about pretending that life is easy or that everything will go your way. It's about facing the truth. Challenges are a part of life, and it's up to you how you respond. You can let them break you, or you can use them to make you better. The choice is yours. Stick with me, and let's uncover how you can become the person who doesn't just survive tough times but thrives because of them. This is your chance to develop the strength and discipline that will carry you through everything. Let's dive in and get started on making you unstoppable. Chapter 1. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Pain. The very word makes most people flinch. It's something we've been conditioned to avoid, to fear, to run from the moment it arrives. Society teaches us that pain is a problem, something to be numbed, distracted from, or silenced. But that's a lie. The truth is, pain is not your enemy. It's the greatest teacher you will ever have, if you're willing to learn from it. The people who rise above, the ones who achieve greatness, the ones who seem unshakable, aren't the ones who avoided pain. They're the ones who embraced it, who let it shape them, who turned it into fuel rather than an excuse to stop. Think about every legendary figure in history. The ones who broke barriers, who defied the odds, who turned struggle into success. None of them had it easy. They weren't handed a smooth path. They were crushed, beaten down, betrayed, rejected, laughed at, and doubted. But instead of letting that pain destroy them, they allowed it to refine them. They understood something that most people never do. Pain is not the end, it's the beginning. The problem is, most people never see past the discomfort. They get hurt, and they stop. They fail once, and they never try again. They lose someone, and they believe life is over. They get rejected, and they assume they're not good enough. They let pain define them instead of transform them. And that's why so many people stay stuck in the same cycles, stuck in the same doubts, stuck in the same place year after year, because they refuse to face the very thing that was sent to elevate them. When life hits hard, and it will, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can sit in the darkness, complaining, feeling sorry for yourself, wishing things were different, or you can stand up and decide that this moment, this pain, will be the very thing that makes you unstoppable. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Those who succeed are willing to suffer. They're willing to endure. They understand that growth comes at a price, and they're willing to pay it. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they lack the ability to endure discomfort. They want the reward without the struggle. They want success without sacrifice. They want growth without pain. But that's not how life works. You don't get stronger by avoiding resistance. You get stronger by pushing through it. The gym teaches us this better than anything else. If you want to build muscle, you have to put your body through stress. You have to push past the point of comfort. You have to lift heavier, go further, endure more. And in that process your body adapts, it grows, it strengthens. Your mind is no different. Your life is no different. Growth requires pain. The mistake most people make is believing that pain is a sign they should stop. They assume that if something is hard, it means it's not meant for them. But that's the opposite of the truth. Pain is proof that you're in the process of transformation. Pain is evidence that you are stepping beyond your old self, stretching beyond your limits, moving towards something greater. The question isn't, how do I avoid pain? The question is, what is this pain trying to teach me? Pain is the wake-up call most people ignore. It's the universe telling you that something needs to change. It's life pushing you to evolve. But instead of paying attention, most people distract themselves. They drown out their emotions with mindless entertainment. They numb themselves with bad habits. They avoid the discomfort by staying in situations that are slowly destroying them because change is scary. They stay in toxic relationships because leaving is painful. They stay in jobs that drain them because starting over is painful. They hold on to the past because letting go is painful. But what they don't realize is that avoiding pain only creates more suffering. There's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. Pain is what happens when life challenges you, when things don't go as planned, when you lose something or someone, when you fail, when you struggle. Suffering is what happens when you refuse to let go, when you resist reality, when you keep replaying the same story in your head, when you let pain turn into self-pity instead of strength. Pain is temporary. Suffering lasts as long as you allow it to. So how do you break free? How do you turn pain into power instead of allowing it to destroy you? You stop running. You stop hiding. You stop seeing pain as an enemy and start treating it as a teacher. You ask yourself, what is this moment trying to show me? Because pain always has a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you resilience. Maybe it's showing you that you're stronger than you think. Maybe it's revealing the truth about a situation you were too blind to see. Maybe it's pushing you towards something greater that you wouldn't have stepped into otherwise. Whatever the case, there is wisdom in your wounds if you're willing to listen. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who never experienced pain. They are the ones who faced it and refused to let it break them. They are the ones who took their deepest struggles and turned them into their greatest strength. They are the ones who lost everything and built again. The ones who were told no and kept going anyway. The ones who fell apart but put themselves back together, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. You have that same power. You just have to make the decision. The decision that no matter what happens, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how unfair life seems, you will not let it defeat you. You will not let it make you bitter. You will not let it turn you into a victim. Instead, you will use it. You will rise because of it. You will transform it into strength, into wisdom, into resilience. Because here's the truth. Pain is unavoidable. But whether that pain breaks you or builds you, that's up to you. The next time life hits you with something unexpected, the next time you feel like giving up, the next time you question if it's all worth it, remember this: every struggle is shaping you into the person you were meant to become. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are in the middle of your transformation. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep pushing forward. One day you'll look back at this very moment, the pain, the struggle, the doubt, and you'll realize it was the turning point. The fire that forged you, the lesson that made you unshakable, the pain that turned you into the strongest version of yourself. Chapter 2. How to stay mentally tough through hardships. Life isn't designed to be easy. If it were, everyone would be successful. disciplined, and unstoppable. But the truth is, most people quit the moment things get hard. They give up on their dreams, their goals, and their potential because they don't know how to stay mentally tough when life starts throwing punches. And that's exactly why so few people reach the level of success they dream about, because they crumble under pressure instead of rising above it. The ability to stay mentally tough through hardships is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who stay stuck in mediocrity. It's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's not talent. It's mental toughness, the ability to keep pushing forward even when everything in you is screaming to stop. The ones who succeed are not the ones who had the easiest path, they are the ones who refuse to break. They are the ones who, no matter how many times they fell, stood back up. No matter how many times they were rejected, kept knocking on doors. No matter how much pain they endured, kept fighting. And if you want to be one of them, if you want to break through the barriers in your life, you have to develop an unshakable mind. Most people let their emotions control them. When they feel motivated, they take action. When they feel tired, they stop. When they feel discouraged, they give up. But if you live your life based on how you feel in the moment, you'll never accomplish anything great. Because there will be days when you don't feel like showing up. There will be moments when you don't feel like trying. There will be times when the weight of your struggles feels unbearable, and in those moments, your emotions will lie to you. They will tell you that it's not worth it, that you're wasting your time, that you should quit. And if you listen to those voices, if you allow those feelings to dictate your actions, you'll never see what you're truly capable of. Mentally tough people don't operate based on emotions, they operate based on commitment. They don't ask themselves if they feel like doing something, they just do it. They don't entertain the idea of quitting, they keep moving forward. They don't dwell on failure, they learn from it and keep going. They have trained their minds to be stronger than their emotions, and that is why they achieve what most people never will. The truth is, hardships are not what break people. It's their response to those hardships that determines their future. Some people go through pain and come out stronger. Others go through pain and let it destroy them. The difference is mindset. When life knocks you down, do you see yourself as a victim, or do you see it as an opportunity to grow? When things don't go as planned, do you give up, or do you adjust and keep moving? Your perspective determines whether you will rise or stay defeated. Most people waste their hardships. They complain about them, feel sorry for themselves, and wish things were easier. But mentally tough people don't waste pain. They use it. They let it refine them. They take every challenge, every setback, every struggle, and they turn it into fuel. They don't see obstacles as roadblocks. They see them as stepping stones. Every hardship becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes feedback. Every rejection becomes redirection. They understand that life isn't happening to them, it's happening for them. And that perspective is what gives them the strength to keep going when others would quit. One of the biggest reasons people break under pressure is because they're too focused on things they can't control. They obsess over circumstances, over other people's opinions, over external situations that they have no power to change. But mentally tough people don't waste energy on things outside of their control. They focus on what they can control, their attitude, their effort, their response. They understand that while they may not control what happens to them, they always control how they react. And that control is what gives them power. Building mental toughness is like building a muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens through repetition, through training, through pushing yourself past your limits day after day. Every time you do something you don't feel like doing, you're strengthening your mind. Every time you push past discomfort, you're increasing your resilience. Every time you refuse to quit, you're developing a level of toughness that will carry you through any challenge life throws your way. Most people want shortcuts. They want the easy way out. But there is no shortcut to mental toughness. There is no hack. It is earned through struggle. It is forged through adversity. It is built through discipline. And the more you embrace that truth, the stronger you will become. The next time life gets hard, and it will, don't run from it. Don't look for an escape. Face it head on. Train your mind to endure. Stop letting temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Stop looking at pain as something to avoid and start seeing it as an opportunity to grow. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who had an easy life. They are the ones who went through hell and refused to break. They are the ones who took their pain and used it to build something greater. And now it's your turn. You have a choice. You can let hardships define you, or you can let them refine you. You can let pain weaken you, or you can let it strengthen you. You can be the person who gives up when things get tough, or you can be the person who pushes through, no matter what. That decision will determine everything, because at the end of the day, mental toughness is not about being fearless. It's not about never feeling doubt or never experiencing pain. It's about pushing forward despite those things. It's about refusing to give in. It's about deciding that no matter how hard things get, you will not quit. You will not break. You will not stop. Because you are stronger than you think. Because every hardship you face is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Because when you come out on the other side of this, you will be unshakable. Keep pushing forward. Keep training your mind. Keep building that unbreakable resilience. And one day, you'll look back and realize that every struggle, every setback, every painful moment was preparing you for something greater than you ever imagined. Chapter 3. Emotional pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. There are moments in life when the weight of emotional pain feels unbearable. The kind of pain that makes you want to shut the world out, that keeps you awake at night, that makes you question everything. The kind that makes you feel like nothing will ever be the same again. And in those moments, it's easy to believe that this pain will last forever. It's easy to convince yourself that you'll never heal, never move on, never feel whole again. But the truth is, no matter how deep the wound, no matter how unbearable the suffering, emotional pain is always temporary. It may not feel like it in the moment, but it is. The mind has a way of making pain feel eternal. When you're in the middle of it, it consumes you. It becomes all you think about. Every second, every minute, every hour is filled with it. But just like every storm, it passes. Just like every night, the sun eventually rises, and just like every wound, it heals. The problem is, most people don't believe that when they're in the middle of suffering, they cling to their pain, feed it with their thoughts, and unknowingly stretch it out longer than it needs to last. The reality is, pain itself is not the problem. Pain is a natural part of life. It's a signal. It's your body and mind's way of telling you that something needs attention. The real problem is how you react to it. Some people feel pain and let it define them. They build their identity around it. They tell themselves stories about how life is unfair, how they've been dealt a bad hand, how they'll never recover. And the more they repeat these stories, the deeper the pain embeds itself into their reality. They become prisoners of their suffering, not because the pain refuses to leave, but because they refuse to let it go. But then there are those who take their pain and use it. They refuse to let it break them. They refuse to let it dictate their future. They understand that pain, no matter how intense, is just another challenge to overcome. And instead of sinking into it, they rise above it. Instead of letting it consume them, they transform it into strength. They turn their suffering into wisdom, their heartbreak into resilience, their failures into stepping stones. Growth is what remains after the pain fades. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices: let it crush you or let it build you. There is no in-between. The strongest people you've ever met, the most resilient individuals, the ones who seem unshakable, they weren't born that way. They were made in the fire. They were shaped by suffering. They didn't escape pain. They learned how to carry it, how to face it, how to turn it into fuel. They understood that the way out of pain is through it, not around it. The mistake most people make is trying to avoid pain. They distract themselves, numb themselves, do anything to escape it. But running from pain only gives it more power. The more you try to resist it, the longer it lingers. True healing begins when you stop avoiding and start confronting. When you allow yourself to feel, to process, to accept. Because pain is not the enemy. It's a messenger. It's revealing something to you. It's showing you where you need to grow, what you need to change, what lessons you need to learn. And if you listen, if you truly pay attention, you'll find that within the pain lies the blueprint for your evolution. Think about the hardest moments of your life. The times when you thought you wouldn't make it. The moments that tested you in ways you never imagined. And yet, here you are. You survived. You made it through. Maybe you didn't realize it at the time, but those moments shaped you. They made you stronger, wiser, more resilient. They gave you depth, perspective, and an understanding of life that only pain could teach. And the same will be true for whatever you're going through now. One day you will look back at this and see it for what it truly was, a necessary chapter in your journey. The pain you feel today will not last forever, but the person you become because of it, that transformation is permanent. That strength, that wisdom, that resilience that stays with you, that is what builds you into someone who cannot be broken, someone who faces challenges with unshakable confidence, someone who no longer fears pain, but welcomes it as an opportunity to grow. You have a choice right now. You can let this pain consume you, or you can decide to use it. You can allow it to drag you down, or you can let it push you forward. Because one thing is certain, this pain will pass. The question is, who will you be when it does? Will you be the person who let it break them, or will you be the person who emerged stronger? No matter what you're facing, no matter how impossible it seems, remind yourself of this: you are capable of surviving anything. You are stronger than you think. And even though it hurts now, even though it feels like this pain will never end, it will. And when it does, you will stand taller, walk stronger, and look back at this moment, knowing that it didn't destroy you, it built you. Your future self is counting on you to push through this. Your future self is waiting on the other side of this struggle, stronger, wiser, unstoppable. So keep going, keep moving forward, keep fighting. Because no matter how deep the pain, no matter how dark it gets, growth is on the other side. And when you get there, you'll understand why this pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to transform you. Chapter 4. The Discipline Blueprint. Winning the war against yourself. Most people dream of success, but very few are willing to do what it takes to get there. They want the rewards, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the results, but they're not ready for the discipline. And that's why they stay stuck, because they're waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for things to be easy. But discipline doesn't wait. It doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're uninspired, if you don't feel like showing up. Discipline is what separates those who achieve from those who just wish. It's the deciding factor between success and regret, between a life of greatness and a life of excuses. The battle you're fighting isn't against the world. It's not about external obstacles or bad luck. The real battle is the one happening inside your mind. It's the voice that tells you to hit snooze instead of getting up. It's the excuse that convinces you to skip the workout, the temptation that makes you procrastinate on your goals. Every single day, you are at war with yourself, and the outcome of that battle determines your future. The problem is, most people lose the war before they even begin. They negotiate with their own weakness. They justify their lack of action. They let comfort win. And every time they do, they reinforce the habit of failure. But discipline, real discipline, is the ability to silence that inner weakness. It's the ability to push through even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to show up day after day, no matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much your mind tries to talk you out of it. And the truth is, discipline is not something you're born with. It's not something reserved for the elite or the gifted. It's something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, the more you train it, the stronger it gets. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're inconsistent. They start strong, but the moment it gets tough, they quit. The moment they don't feel motivated, they stop. But success doesn't reward the occasional effort. It rewards consistency. It rewards the person who keeps going long after the excitement has worn off. It rewards the one who puts in the work every single day, whether they feel like it or not. Because that's what discipline is. It's showing up even when you're exhausted, even when you're uninspired, even when your mind is screaming at you to take it easy. You have to train yourself to stop relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. And if you only take action when you feel motivated, you will never achieve anything significant. The most successful people in the world didn't get there because they were motivated every day. They got there because they were disciplined. They trained themselves to act regardless of their emotions. They built the habit of execution. They made discipline their default state. And the best part, the moment you embrace discipline, life gets easier, not because the challenges disappear, but because you become stronger. When you train yourself to push through resistance, everything changes. You stop making excuses. You stop avoiding the hard work. You stop letting your emotions dictate your actions. And suddenly, success becomes inevitable. You start seeing results. Not because of luck, not because of some miracle, but because you put in the work every single day. But here's the thing, discipline isn't built overnight. It's a process. It's developed in the small moments, in the tiny decisions that seem insignificant. It's built every time you choose to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing. Every time you wake up early when you don't feel like it. Every time you push through a workout when you want to quit. Every time you stick to your plan when distractions tempt you to do otherwise. These small wins add up. They compound, and over time, they turn into unshakable discipline. Most people wait until they feel ready. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more energy, when they have more time, when the conditions are perfect. But that's just another excuse. The truth is, you will never feel completely ready. There will always be resistance. There will always be discomfort. And that's why the only way to develop discipline is to start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it. Now, because the sooner you start, the sooner you take control of your life. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't superhuman. They don't have more hours in the day. They don't have special privileges. They simply refuse to be controlled by their emotions. They understand that success is a result of discipline, not desire. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't give themselves an option to quit. They commit and they execute. And that's why they win. Your life is a reflection of your habits. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. And right now, you have a choice. You can keep making excuses, keep procrastinating, keep letting your emotions control you. Or you can decide, right now, that you will no longer let weakness win. That from this moment forward, you will be disciplined. You will be consistent. You will push through every excuse, every distraction, every obstacle, because discipline is not about punishment. It's not about suffering. It's about freedom. The freedom to create the life you want. The freedom to achieve your highest potential. The freedom to wake up every day, knowing you are in control. And once you experience that kind of freedom, you will never go back to the way you were before. You will never settle for less. You will never let your weakness dictate your future. So make the decision now. Build the discipline, win the war against yourself, and watch how your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Because once you master discipline, nothing can stop you. Chapter 5. Mastering the Art of Pushing Forward When You Have Nothing Left. Your body is exhausted, your mind is drained, and your spirit feels shattered. You've given everything you had, and yet the results haven't shown up. The progress is slow, the setbacks are relentless, and the weight of failure presses down on you like a mountain. You start questioning yourself. Is this even worth it? Should I keep going? Should I just stop and accept that maybe this isn't meant for me? That moment when you feel like quitting, when you feel like you have nothing left to give, that moment is the most important one of your life. Because that's the moment that separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. That's the moment where you either break through or break down. And the truth is, most people give up. They convince themselves that it's okay to stop, that they've done enough. But the ones who make it, the ones who achieve greatness, they push forward anyway, even when they're empty, even when everything inside them is screaming to stop. When you hit your breaking point, when the pain becomes unbearable, that is the exact moment you need to push harder, because that's when real transformation happens. Your mind will try to deceive you, telling you that you have nothing left. It will flood you with doubt, with fear, with every excuse to justify quitting. But here's the secret. Your mind is lying. You always have more left. Your body is capable of more than you can imagine. Your willpower, your resilience, your strength, it goes deeper than you realize. But most people never tap into it because they stop the moment it gets hard. They let the discomfort convince them that they're done. But you are not done. You are just beginning. Think about the moments when champions are made. It's not when they're fresh, when they're full of energy, when everything is going their way. No, champions are made in the final round, when their legs are weak, when their lungs are burning, when they're barely holding on, but they keep swinging anyway. That's the moment that defines them. That's the moment that separates them from the rest of the world. And that's the moment you have to embrace. Because if you only work hard when you feel good, if you only push yourself when it's easy, you will never reach your full potential. Real success comes when you push through the exhaustion, when you keep going even after your mind tells you to stop. Most people think they're giving 100%, but they're not. They stop at 60, 70, maybe 80%, They stop when it gets uncomfortable. They stop when it gets painful. But the last 10–20%, that's where the magic is. That's where growth happens. That's where you tap into a version of yourself you've never met before. And the only way to get there is to refuse to quit, to refuse to give in to the weakness, the doubt, the fear. Pain is not the enemy. Fatigue is not the enemy. Doubt is not the enemy. The real enemy is the voice in your head that tells you to stop. That voice has been controlling you for too long. It has dictated your actions, kept you small, convinced you that you're not capable of more. But that voice is a liar, and the only way to silence it is to push beyond what you think you can do, to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you ever imagined. Because the moment you do, everything changes. You realize that the limits you thought existed were never real. You realize that your mind was the only thing holding you back. And once you break past that illusion, you become unstoppable. Every time you push past the pain, every time you go further than you thought possible, you build a new standard for yourself. You create a new baseline, and what once felt impossible becomes normal. That's how growth works. That's how champions are built. They don't accept their first limit as the final one. They don't stop when it gets hard. They keep going. They keep pushing. They keep proving to themselves that they are capable of more. And because of that, they rise. Right now you are standing at a crossroads. You can choose to listen to the voice that tells you you've done enough, that it's okay to stop, that you don't have anything left. Or you can choose to silence that voice, to dig deeper, to find that extra 10% that you didn't even know existed. And once you do, you will unlock a version of yourself that you never thought was possible. A version of yourself that is stronger, more powerful, more resilient than ever before. So the next time you feel like you have nothing left, the next time your mind tells you that you can't go on, remember this: you always have more left. You just have to be willing to find it. You just have to be willing to push through the pain, through the exhaustion, through the doubt. And when you do, when you break through that barrier, you will realize that you were never empty. You were never weak. You were just one decision away from unleashing your true potential. Chapter 6: Turning Pain into Power. How to use struggles to your advantage. Life will test you in ways you never expected. It will push you, break you, and make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But here's the thing: every struggle, every setback, every ounce of pain you endure has a purpose. It is not there to destroy you. It is there to forge you into something greater. Because pain, when used correctly, is the most powerful tool for transformation. It forces you to grow. It forces you to change. It forces you to become the person you were meant to be. But most people never understand this. They see pain as a curse, as something to run from, something to avoid at all costs. And that is why they stay the same. That is why they never reach their full potential. Because the truth is, if you want to rise, if you want to succeed, if you want to become something more, you must learn how to turn your pain into power. Think about the moments in your life that shaped you the most. Were they the easy moments, the comfortable times, the days where everything went your way? No. The moments that truly shaped you were the struggles, the heartbreaks, the failures, the days where you wanted to give up but didn't. That's where strength is built. That's where character is forged. That's where real transformation happens. But only if you embrace it. Only if you use it. Because pain can do two things. It can either break you, or it can build you. And that choice is yours. Most people let pain break them. They let it make them bitter. They let it convince them that life is unfair, that the world is against them, that they are victims of their circumstances. But the strong, the successful, the ones who refuse to stay down, they take that pain and turn it into something greater. They take their struggles and use them as fuel. They take their failures and turn them into lessons. They take their heartbreak and use it to build something unstoppable. Look at anyone who has ever achieved anything great, and you will see someone who has suffered. You will see someone who has endured more pain than you can imagine. But instead of letting it destroy them, they turned it into something powerful. They used it as a reason to rise instead of an excuse to fall. And that is exactly what you must do. Because life is not going to get easier. The struggles will not stop. The pain will not magically disappear. But what can change is how you respond to it. What can change is the way you use it. The key is to stop seeing pain as the enemy. Stop running from it. Stop trying to avoid it. Start seeing it for what it really is. A gift, a lesson, a tool that is meant to push you to your next level. Every time you face a struggle, every time you go through pain, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I use this? How can I make this work for me instead of against me? Because that shift in perspective will change everything. Instead of drowning in self-pity, you will start to see opportunities. Instead of feeling powerless, you will start to feel in control. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you will start to become the master of your life. But this is not easy. It requires a level of mental strength that most people never develop. It requires the ability to endure discomfort, to sit with your pain instead of running from it. It requires a willingness to look at your struggles, not as obstacles but as stepping stones. And most of all, it requires a commitment to never ever give up. Because there will be moments when it feels like too much. Moments where you will want to quit. Moments where you will doubt yourself, where you will wonder if all this pain is worth it. And in those moments, you must remember, your pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to prepare you. Every great success story is built on a foundation of struggle. Every strong person you admire has been through hell and back. Every champion, every leader, every person who has ever done something extraordinary has faced unimaginable pain. But they kept going. They kept pushing. They refused to let their struggles define them. And that is what you must do. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how many times you fall, you must keep going. Because on the other side of your pain is your power. On the other side of your struggle is your strength. On the other side of everything you are going through right now is the version of yourself that you were always meant to become. But you will never reach it if you give up. You will never see it if you stop now. So take your pain and turn it into something powerful. Take your struggles and use them as fuel. Take everything life has thrown at you and build something unstoppable. Because the only way to truly win in life is to refuse to let anything break you. To take every hardship, every setback, every ounce of pain and turn it into something greater. To become stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of it. This is not just about surviving. This is about thriving. This is about proving to yourself that you are stronger than anything life can throw at you. This is about using your pain to build a version of yourself that is unbreakable. So don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't let it defeat you. Face it, use it, master it, and watch how your entire life changes. Chapter 7. When life hits hard, how to keep moving forward. Life doesn't ask for permission before it hits you. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment to throw obstacles in your path. It doesn't care if you're ready, if you're strong enough, or if you have a plan. It just happens out of nowhere, with no warning, no explanation, and no way to undo it. And when it does, Most people freeze. They break down. They let the weight of their struggles crush them. They spend days, weeks, even years stuck in the same place, replaying their failures, drowning in self-pity, waiting for something to change. But life doesn't stop moving just because you do. The clock keeps ticking. The world keeps turning. And the longer you sit there, the further you fall behind. So what's the solution? Keep moving forward. No matter what, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how impossible it feels, because the moment you stop moving is the moment you lose. Most people don't fail because they're not talented enough or strong enough. They fail because they let themselves get stuck. They let one setback define them. They let one bad day turn into a bad week, then a bad month, then a bad life. They wait for motivation to return, for things to get easier, for the pain to go away before they take another step. But that moment never comes, because life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards movement. It rewards those who refuse to stop, who refuse to let their circumstances dictate their future. And that's exactly what you need to understand. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond to it. You can let your struggles bury you, or you can let them build you. You can let failure be the end of your story, or you can use it as the beginning of something greater. But the only way to win is to keep moving forward, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when every part of you wants to quit. Because every step you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to where you want to be. Pain is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to push harder. Fear is not a reason to back down. It's a reason to prove yourself wrong. Doubt is not a sign to quit. It's a sign that you are stepping into something bigger than yourself. And that's the secret. Every struggle you face is proof that you are growing, that you are evolving, that you are becoming something more. The only people who don't feel pain, who don't struggle, who don't doubt themselves are the ones who never try, the ones who settle, the ones who stay in the same place forever. But you are not one of those people. You are not someone who settles. You are not someone who gives up at the first sign of resistance. You are built for more. You are built to rise, to overcome, to keep moving, no matter what life throws at you. And if you want to prove that to yourself, there is only one thing you must do. Keep going. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you wake up and feel like the world is against you. When every door seems to be closing. When nothing is going right. And in those moments, the easiest thing to do is to give up, to let go, to say, maybe this just isn't for me. But that is the difference between success and failure, the ability to keep going when every reason is telling you to stop. The ability to get back up when life knocks you down. The ability to keep pushing forward even when you have nothing left. Because that's what separates those who make it from those who don't. Not luck, not talent, not circumstances, just the simple decision to never stop moving forward. So stop waiting. Stop looking for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation to find you. Stop waiting for things to get easier. Start now. Take the first step. And then another. And then another. Keep going even when it feels pointless. Keep going even when you don't see results right away. Because every great success story starts the same way, with someone who refused to quit. Someone who kept pushing forward, day after day, until one day, everything changed. That day will come for you, but only if you keep going. Only if you refuse to let failure be the end of your story. Only if you decide that no matter what happens, you will not stop. Because the only real failure is giving up. The only way you lose is if you stop trying. As long as you keep moving forward, you are still in the fight. And as long as you are still in the fight, you still have a chance to win. No one said this would be easy. No one said it wouldn't hurt. No one promised that you wouldn't have moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments where you question everything. But if you can push through those moments, if you can keep going when everything inside you is telling you to stop, you will reach a place that most people never do. A place where pain turns into strength, where struggle turns into wisdom, where every hardship you faced becomes the reason you succeed. So get up, keep going, keep moving forward. No matter what, because the only way to fail is to stop, and you are not someone who stops. You are someone who fights. You are someone who rises. You are someone who refuses to let anything stand in your way. And if you keep going, if you refuse to quit, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Chapter 8. The Pain-Resilience Connection. Building strength that lasts a lifetime. Pain will introduce you to a version of yourself you've never met before. It will strip away the illusions, the distractions, the excuses, and force you to see what you're really made of. When life gets hard, when everything is falling apart, when you feel like you have nothing left, this is the moment that defines you. Not the easy times, not the moments of comfort, but the moments when you are tested, when you are broken, when you have to decide whether you will give up or rise. Most people don't realize it, but pain and resilience are deeply connected. You cannot have one without the other. Strength isn't built in comfort. Mental toughness isn't developed when everything is going well. The strongest people you know, the ones who seem unshakable, who seem immune to hardship, they weren't born that way. They were built in fire. They were shaped by pain, forged through struggle, refined by failure. Every battle, every loss, every moment of doubt added another layer of resilience to their spirit. That's the truth no one tells you. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the process. It is the teacher, the refiner, the tool that sharpens you into something greater than you were before. And yet, most people run from it. They numb it, avoid it, try to escape it. But what they don't realize is that every time they run from pain, they also run from growth. Every time they avoid hardship, they stay the same. They remain stuck in the same patterns, the same weaknesses, the same limitations, because they refuse to face what is necessary to become stronger. There is no shortcut to resilience. There is no easy way to build mental toughness. You have to go through it. You have to embrace it. You have to see pain for what it really is. A challenge to overcome, a lesson to learn, an opportunity to rise. The people who succeed in life, the ones who achieve greatness, they don't have less pain than you. They don't have fewer struggles. They just refuse to let their struggles define them. They refuse to let pain be the thing that breaks them. Instead, they let it be the thing that builds them. And that is what you must do. You must stop seeing pain as something to fear and start seeing it as something to use. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to get stronger. Every setback is a test of how badly you want it. Every failure is a chance to learn, to grow, to adapt. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that successful people avoid pain, it's that they embrace it. They don't run from difficulty, they run toward it. They don't see struggle as a reason to quit, they see it as proof that they're on the right path. Because here's the truth, if your goals don't require pain, they're not big enough. If your dreams don't demand resilience, they're not worth chasing. Anything great, Anything worth having requires struggle. It requires sacrifice. It requires pushing past what's comfortable, enduring what's difficult, and refusing to quit when every part of you wants to stop. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't. Think about the hardest moment in your life. The moment you thought you wouldn't survive. The moment you were certain would break you. But you did survive. You made it through. You became stronger because of it. And if you look back, you'll realize that what once seemed impossible is now just a memory. Proof that you are tougher than you thought. That's the thing about pain. It feels unbearable in the moment, but once you get through it, you realize it was never as powerful as you thought. You were always stronger. You just had to prove it to yourself. That's why you cannot let pain stop you. You cannot let discomfort convince you to quit. You cannot let temporary suffering make you believe in permanent failure, because every time you push through, every time you refuse to quit, you are building something greater inside you. You are training your mind, your body, your soul to be unbreakable. And over time, what once seemed impossible will become effortless. What once felt unbearable will become just another challenge to overcome. This is how you build resilience, by facing what others avoid, by doing what others won't, by refusing to surrender to pain. Every time you endure, every time you fight through, every time you refuse to break, you are becoming something greater. You are forging a mind that cannot be defeated, a spirit that cannot be crushed, a will that cannot be stopped. And once you reach that level, once you develop that kind of strength, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Struggle is a part of life, but staying weak is a decision. If you want to be great, if you want to be unstoppable, you must embrace pain. You must welcome difficulty. You must push through when others give up, stand tall when others break, and keep going when others stop. That is how resilience is built. That is how strength is developed. That is how you become the person you were meant to be. So stop running, stop avoiding, stop waiting for an easy way out. There is none. The only way forward is through. The only way to build unshakable strength is to endure the fire. The only way to become unbreakable is to first be broken. Let pain do its job. Let it refine you. Let it shape you into something greater. And when you come out on the other side, when you look back at all the battles you've fought, all the struggles you've endured, you'll realize that every ounce of pain was worth it, because it made you who you are. Stronger, wiser, unstoppable. Keep going, keep fighting, keep pushing through, because you are capable of more than you think, and the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to never quit. Chapter 9. Stop negotiating with yourself. How to eliminate excuses for good. I'm sure you've felt it. That little voice inside your head that tells you to quit when things get tough, that whispers sweet excuses in your ear, convincing you that it's okay to slow down, to take a break, to rest for a while. You know the voice I'm talking about, the one that convinces you that today's the day to let up, to put off what you need to do, and to indulge in comfort instead of pushing through. The voice that tells you that it's okay to stop, to take the easy way out, to listen to the temptation of surrender. But here's the truth, that voice is not your friend. It's the enemy of your progress, the thief of your potential, the thing holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. You might not realize it, but every time you listen to that voice, every time you give in to the excuses it feeds you, you lose a little bit of momentum. You take one more step back instead of moving forward. You give up on yourself just a little bit more, inch by inch, until one day you look back and wonder why you didn't make the progress you were capable of. You've traded in your dreams for the temporary comfort of giving up. And that, my friend, is where most people go wrong. You're not weak for hearing the voice of doubt or for feeling the pull to give up. It's completely normal. Everyone has that moment. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has felt the same tug of temptation to quit. But what sets them apart, what separates those who succeed from those who don't, is the ability to recognize that voice for what it really is: a liar, a manipulator, a saboteur. It's the part of your mind that wants you to stay in your comfort zone, to play it safe, to avoid pain at all costs. And the harsh truth is that if you want to achieve anything extraordinary, if you want to break through the limits you've placed on yourself, you need to stop negotiating with this voice. You need to learn how to shut it down, to silence the excuses, and to push forward even when it feels impossible. Think about the times when you've accomplished something significant in your life. Whether it's a project you finished, a goal you reached, or a tough situation you overcame, do you remember what it took? Do you remember the moments when you wanted to quit? When you told yourself, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," or "this is too much"? I bet you can recall those thoughts vividly, because they were real, they were hard. But you pushed through them, didn't you? You made the decision to keep going, even when you didn't feel like it. You chose to ignore the voice that told you to stop, and you got the result because of it. The result wasn't just the goal you achieved, it was the strength, resilience, and discipline you developed along the way. So here's the real question: how can you eliminate the excuses for good? How can you stop negotiating with yourself when you know you have a goal in mind, and you know what you need to do to get there? The answer is simple but not easy. You need to develop an unwavering commitment to your goals, a refusal to let anything, especially yourself, get in the way. You need to become a master of your own mind, an expert in blocking out the noise, and a force to be reckoned with in the face of distractions and doubts. You need to stop giving excuses a seat at the table of your success. The first step to eliminating excuses is recognizing them for what they are: a form of resistance. Resistance shows up when we're about to do something hard, something meaningful, something that challenges us. It's the part of our mind that wants us to stay comfortable, to avoid discomfort, and to stay within our familiar boundaries. Resistance is the voice that says, "You're too tired," or "It's not the right time," or "You don't have the energy." Resistance comes from fear, the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of judgment. It's a sneaky little thing that disguises itself as logic, as self-preservation, as caution, but at its core, it's fear. The next step is to get clear about what you really want. It's easy to let excuses take over when you're not sure about your direction, when your goals aren't crystal clear. But when you have a solid vision, when you're deeply connected to why you're doing something, excuses don't stand a chance. When you're clear about your why, you'll realize that everything else, the doubt, the fear, the distractions, is just noise. And you won't let it stop you. The third step is to strengthen your discipline. Discipline is the antidote to excuses. It's the muscle that you build every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it. It's the commitment to do what needs to be done, regardless of your mood, your circumstances, or how tired you are. Discipline is the ability to push through when your mind wants to give up, when your body says no, and when the world around you feels like it's working against you. It's not easy, but it's essential. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. You train yourself to act in spite of the excuses, and over time, the excuses will have less power over you. It's also important to understand that discipline is not about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently. You won't always feel motivated. Some days you'll be tired, frustrated, or discouraged. But your commitment to your goals is not based on how you feel. It's based on your decision to keep moving forward, even when it's hard. When you make that decision, when you choose to act despite your feelings, you gain power over yourself. You gain confidence in your ability to push through the obstacles that stand in your way. Now, let's talk about how to handle those moments when the excuses come rushing in like a wave. The key is to make a decision before the excuses even have a chance to settle in. You need to decide, right now, that you will not negotiate with yourself. You will not make deals or compromises. You will not give yourself permission to fail. Every time an excuse arises, recognize it for what it is: a challenge, a test, an opportunity to prove your commitment. It's in these moments that you define yourself, that you create your identity as someone who does not give in to excuses. It's important to remember that it's okay to be uncomfortable. Growth happens in discomfort, the process of pushing through the resistance and rejecting the excuses will make you stronger. The more you practice this, the less power the excuses will have. Eventually, you will no longer hear them as loudly. You will be able to move forward with an unwavering sense of purpose, and you'll find that your ability to stay disciplined grows exponentially. It's not about achieving perfection, it's about making progress. Every time you make the decision to do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it, you are building the character of someone who will not let anything, especially themselves, stop them from reaching their full potential. This is how you eliminate excuses. This is how you break the cycle. This is how you become unstoppable. The next time the voice inside your head tries to tell you to give up, to take it easy, to let yourself off the hook, remind yourself that you are stronger than the excuses. You are committed to your vision, and nothing is going to get in your way. And when you make that decision, everything else falls into place. You eliminate excuses, and you move forward with the power to create the life you've always dreamed of. Chapter 10. Emotional Mastery. Controlling your reactions in the face of pain. Pain is something everyone goes through, but here's the thing: how we respond to it defines us. Most people react to pain with fear or resistance, and in doing so, they hold themselves back from ever truly growing. The secret, however, is in learning to control your emotions, to harness that raw power that pain offers, and to rise above it, stronger than ever. Pain doesn't have to rule you. You can learn to master your emotional reactions, to keep going even when you feel like giving up, and to transform pain into something positive. Imagine what it would feel like to meet every challenge with unshakable calm and confidence, to feel in control, no matter what life throws at you. Emotional mastery isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time through self-discipline, awareness, and a commitment to growth. When life gets tough, when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of what's happening around you, it's easy to fall into a spiral of negativity and helplessness. But here's the truth: you have the power to stop that spiral. You have the ability to choose how you respond, even when you feel like your world is falling apart. The difference between someone who thrives and someone who simply survives is the ability to control their emotions, to rise above the storm and keep moving forward. One of the hardest parts of emotional mastery is learning to pause before reacting. It's all too easy to lash out, to let our emotions control our actions, or to allow ourselves to spiral into anxiety or despair. But every time you react impulsively, you give away your power. You let the situation control you, but when you can pause, even for just a few seconds, and take a deep breath, you take back control. You create space between the stimulus, the thing that's triggering your pain, and your response. In that space is your power to choose how you will react, how you will navigate the discomfort, and how you will move through the pain with resilience. Think about it. The next time you feel yourself getting angry, frustrated, or upset, take that pause, breathe in deeply, center yourself, and remind yourself that you have the strength to deal with whatever is happening. You don't have to react to everything immediately. You don't have to allow your emotions to dictate your behavior. With practice, this pause becomes second nature, and you'll find yourself becoming less and less affected by the external chaos around you. Instead of getting caught up in a wave of emotion, you'll ride it out, staying grounded and composed. Let's face it, no one likes to feel pain. But it's how you handle the emotional pain that really matters. It's not about denying your feelings or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's about acknowledging your feelings, feeling them fully, and then choosing how you want to respond. This is what emotional mastery is all about. You are not your emotions, you are the person who chooses how to handle them. It's that simple. And the more you practice this, the more you'll realize how powerful you really are. You will begin to notice that you're no longer a slave to your emotions, to your past hurts, or to the challenges that arise in your life. Instead of getting pulled into negative thought patterns or emotional reactions, you'll become the observer. You'll notice your feelings without letting them dictate your behavior. You'll feel the pain, but it won't control you. You'll feel the frustration, but it won't stop you. You'll feel the sadness, but it won't hold you back from moving forward. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is fine. It's about choosing how to respond in the face of adversity. It's about being conscious of your emotions, understanding them, and using them to your advantage. When you can control your emotional responses, you stop giving your power away. You stop allowing external circumstances to dictate how you feel, and instead, you take charge of your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions. This shift in mindset is not something that happens overnight, but with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. Start small. Begin by observing your emotions throughout the day. Notice when you feel triggered, when you feel frustrated or angry or sad. Instead of reacting immediately, take that pause. Breathe, acknowledge the emotion, then choose how you want to respond. Do you want to react with anger, or do you want to choose a calmer, more thoughtful response? Do you want to spiral into negativity, or do you want to rise above it, knowing that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way? Over time, you'll find that this practice becomes more ingrained in your daily life. The emotional roller coaster you've been on will start to feel less intense. You'll feel more grounded, more at peace, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. Emotional mastery is not about avoiding pain or discomfort. It's about learning how to navigate it with grace, to face it with courage, and to use it as fuel for growth. When you start mastering your emotions, you become unstoppable. You no longer feel overwhelmed by your circumstances, because you know that no matter what happens, you have the power to handle it. This is the foundation of true resilience. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain. It's about learning how to bounce back from it, to keep moving forward, and to grow stronger through every challenge. When you master your emotions, you also master yourself. You stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you start being the creator of your own reality. The most resilient people are not those who avoid pain, but those who face it head-on and use it as a stepping stone for growth. Pain and hardship will come, that's inevitable. But what you do with that pain is entirely up to you. You can either let it break you, or you can let it shape you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient person. The choice is yours. So take control of your emotions. Embrace the discomfort, learn from it, grow from it, and use it to build the life you want. It's time to stop letting pain dictate your life. It's time to stop letting your emotions control you. Take charge. Become the master of your reactions. And remember, no matter what comes your way, you have the strength to face it and rise above it. Pain is not your enemy. It's simply another opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to become the person you were always meant to be. So stand tall, embrace the challenge, and remember you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. Chapter 11. Breaking through the almost barrier, getting to the next level. It's not uncommon to feel like you're almost there, just one step away from reaching your goal, but then, out of nowhere, you hit a wall. You know that feeling, right? That overwhelming sense that you're so close, but something keeps pulling you back, something inside of you that whispers, not yet, or maybe you're not ready after all. We all face this barrier, the almost barrier. It's that moment where you feel like you're on the edge of greatness, but something holds you back from fully crossing into your next level. The question is, what will you do when you find yourself staring down that barrier? Will you let it stop you, or will you push through and shatter it once and for all? There's a psychological phenomenon that plays into this, the feeling of being just on the verge of success, but not quite there yet. It's not a simple feeling of doubt. It's more like an internal tug-of-war between your potential and your fear. The fear of failing, of making a mistake, or of being rejected. The fear of the unknown. It's a natural instinct to want to hold back when you feel like you're so close to something big. The risk feels high, and the reward feels just out of reach. But here's the thing, it's that very moment when you're staring down that almost barrier that you are closest to success. It's when your growth is on the other side of your fear, and the only thing that stands between you and your next level is the decision to keep moving forward, to push through, and to break through that mental barrier. Let's be real for a second. The almost barrier can be exhausting. The constant push and pull, the questioning of whether you have enough in you to break through. That's when self-doubt starts to creep in, and you begin to wonder if you're truly capable of reaching the heights you've been dreaming of. But here's where you have to understand something powerful. Almost is a deceptive word. It tricks you into thinking you're not there yet, that the finish line is just out of reach. But the reality is that almost is just one step away from victory. And the reason so many people never cross that line is because they let that fear, that uncertainty, and that self-doubt stop them right when they're on the brink of something extraordinary. The truth is that success, growth, and achievement don't happen in a straight line. The path is filled with moments of struggle, frustration, and doubt. But what separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short is the ability to keep pushing through when it feels like the goal is just out of reach. When you're standing at the edge of your breakthrough, it often feels like you're walking in a fog, unable to see the full picture. But trust me, that's when you have to dig deep, lean into your discipline, and stay committed to the process. The most successful people are the ones who can endure the discomfort of being in that almost space and keep moving forward, even when they can't see the outcome. This is where resilience comes into play. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well, when progress is steady and things feel good. But when you're in that almost space, when you're pushing through the final stretch and the end seems far, that's when the true test of your resilience begins. Resilience isn't about avoiding obstacles, it's about how you respond to them when they arise. It's about maintaining your focus, your determination, and your belief in yourself, even when it feels like you're stuck in that space of almost with no way out. One of the most powerful ways to push through the almost barrier is by embracing the discomfort that comes with it. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. We all want things to be easy, but it's in the struggle, in the discomfort, that the real growth happens. When you're in that place where it feels like you're at the edge of your breakthrough, but it's hard to keep going, that's when you have to trust the process. The key to breaking through that almost barrier is to keep showing up every day, no matter how small the steps are. It's about consistency and persistence. You don't have to have it all figured out, and you don't have to make huge leaps every day. But as long as you keep moving, even if it's just a little bit at a time, you'll find yourself on the other side of that barrier before you know it. Another powerful tool for breaking through the almost barrier is the practice of visualization. This may sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. Picture yourself on the other side of the barrier, having already achieved what you set out to do. Feel the pride, the relief, the joy of having made it through. Imagine what it will feel like to look back and realize that you didn't stop, that you didn't let fear or doubt hold you back. Visualization is a tool that helps you focus on the outcome, even when the present moment feels difficult. It's a reminder of why you're doing this in the first place, a reminder of the bigger picture and the success that awaits you. But here's the catch: the almost barrier can't be overcome by willpower alone. It requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing the struggle as something that's holding you back, you have to start seeing it as a necessary part of the process. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt is just another opportunity to grow stronger. Every time you push through that almost barrier, you're building a new layer of resilience, and that resilience becomes the foundation for your next level of success. It's also important to recognize that the almost barrier is often the last hurdle before a major breakthrough. When you're on the verge of something great, the challenges will feel more intense. You'll face greater resistance because your mind, body, and spirit are being pushed to expand. But when you're aware of this, and you understand that the discomfort you're feeling is a sign of imminent growth, you can embrace it instead of avoiding it. The more you face these barriers head-on, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. When you push through the almost barrier, you're not just crossing into a new phase of achievement, you're building a new version of yourself. Every time you break through, you build more strength, more character, and more belief in your ability to overcome whatever challenges lie ahead. This process becomes cumulative. Each breakthrough leads to the next, and before you know it, you've built a momentum that propels you forward, unstoppable and resilient. So the next time you find yourself staring down the almost barrier, remember that you are closer than you think. The struggle you feel is just a sign that you are about to reach your next level. Keep pushing, stay focused, and trust the process. Success is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who can push through, who can rise above, and who can keep going even when it feels like they're on the edge. Keep moving forward. The other side of the barrier is waiting for you, and when you cross it, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. Chapter 12: The Legacy of Pain. How to use your struggles to inspire others. The struggles you face are not your burden to carry alone. They are not signs of weakness or proof that you're destined to fail. The challenges, the setbacks, the pain, these are not your enemies. They are your training ground. They are the very things that will shape you, refine you, and prepare you for a greater purpose. Every single difficulty you encounter, every hardship you endure, is an opportunity for growth. It's the raw material of your potential, waiting to be molded into something extraordinary. The legacy of pain is something we all share, yet how you choose to respond to it will determine whether you rise from it stronger or remain defeated by it. The idea of using pain as a tool, a stepping stone, rather than a stumbling block, is a powerful shift in perspective. Most people see pain as something to avoid or suppress, and rightfully so. We all have an instinct to protect ourselves from harm, from the discomfort that comes with failure or loss. But here's the reality: you will encounter pain, whether you seek it out or not. The difference lies in how you choose to use it when it comes. Pain can either be a wall that stops you in your tracks, or a bridge that propels you to higher ground. The choice is yours, and it starts with how you view your struggles. Think about the most impactful people in history, the ones who made the greatest contributions to humanity. These individuals didn't lead easy lives. They faced incredible adversity, often at every turn. Yet, they used those challenges to fuel their determination, to build resilience, and to develop the grit necessary to push forward when others would have given up. They embraced their pain as part of the journey. Without it, their greatness would have remained untapped, dormant in the shadows of their potential. Now let's consider your own life. You've faced struggles, some big, some small, but each has played a role in shaping who you are today. You may look at those painful moments and feel the weight of them. You might even wish they never happened. But the truth is, if you take a step back and really think about it, those moments have made you stronger, wiser, and more capable. You've learned lessons in perseverance, in patience, in the importance of resilience. You've developed a deeper understanding of what it takes to overcome. And these lessons have not only helped you grow, but they have also given you the ability to inspire and guide others through their own trials. There's something incredibly powerful about turning pain into power. It's the essence of human strength. The ability to rise from hardship, to take those moments of suffering and turn them into a source of inner strength, is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who are paralyzed by their circumstances. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about learning how to work with it, how to use it to fuel your fire, and it's in this transformation that your legacy is born. When you rise above pain, when you push through and emerge on the other side, you not only change your own life, you change the lives of those around you. Your story becomes a beacon of hope, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Your legacy is not built on avoiding difficulty, it's built on how you respond to it, how you use it to evolve and become the person you were always meant to be. There's a profound beauty in this process. It's the beauty of human resilience, the beauty of turning what could break you into the very thing that strengthens you. This transformation is not just about surviving, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not in spite of your pain, but because of it. Your pain becomes your story, and your story becomes your strength. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond to what happens to you. Now, as you look ahead, it's important to remember that you have the power to choose your response. When life throws challenges your way, you have the ability to decide whether to let them define you or to let them refine you. This is where true growth happens, when you stop seeing pain as something to avoid and start seeing it as the catalyst for change. When you make that shift in your mindset, everything changes. You stop feeling powerless in the face of difficulty and instead tap into a well of untapped potential. Imagine for a moment what would happen if you fully embraced your struggles. What if you saw each obstacle not as a setback, but as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more resilient? What if every time you felt the weight of life's challenges, you understood that this was not something to fear, but something to use? Your pain, your challenges, and your struggles would no longer be the things that hold you back. They would be the things that propel you forward. The legacy of pain is not one of defeat. It is one of strength, growth, and transformation. The people who inspire us the most are not the ones who lived pain-free lives. They are the ones who, despite their pain, found a way to push forward. They are the ones who used their struggles as stepping stones to greatness. And you too have that power. You have the ability to create a legacy that will inspire others for years to come. Every painful experience you encounter adds to your story. Every challenge is an opportunity to add another chapter to the legacy you are building. And when you look back, you won't see a trail of failures or hardships. You'll see a trail of strength, perseverance, and resilience. You'll see a person who didn't just survive pain but used it as a springboard to reach greater heights. You'll see a person who didn't let the struggles of life define them, but instead used those struggles to shape them into someone who could help others rise as well. So, as you face the inevitable difficulties ahead, remember this: your pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. It's the tool that will help you grow, the fire that will forge your strength, and the foundation upon which your legacy will be built. Embrace it, learn from it, use it to propel yourself forward. And when you look back, you'll see that the struggles you once feared were the very things that shaped you into the person you were always meant to be. And that, my friend, is the legacy of pain, a legacy that will last far beyond your own lifetime. Chapter 13. The Darkest Hour: How to Overcome Your Lowest Moments. Pain. It's something we all experience, but it's also something we try to avoid at all costs. When you're in the thick of it, when everything seems too much to bear, it's easy to feel like there's no way out. Life can hit so hard, and when it does, it feels like you've reached the very bottom. But here's the thing: your darkest hour doesn't have to be your final hour. In fact, it could be the very thing that propels you toward the life you were always meant to live. The truth is, the lowest moments in life hold the seeds of your greatest strength. They are the moments when you discover who you really are, when you're forced to dig deep, and when you find out exactly what you're made of. You see, the darkest hour is not the time to give up. It's the time to rise, to fight, and to transform. Think about the most powerful moments of change in history. Every great story, every success, has a common theme: a moment when everything seemed lost, but that moment sparked the transformation. It's in those dark, painful, seemingly hopeless times that people find the strength to push through and turn their lives around. And here's something I want you to understand deeply: there is nothing more powerful than the decision to keep going when life hits you the hardest. The moment you choose not to let your darkest hour define you, you take control of your destiny. There is something beautiful about hardship, something transformative about those moments of struggle. It's in those times that you are faced with a decision. You can either let the pain defeat you, or you can rise from it, stronger and more determined than ever before. Life doesn't always give you a choice about when pain will come, but it always gives you a choice about how you respond to it. And that's where your true power lies. It's easy to stay positive when everything is going well. It's easy to feel motivated when life is smooth sailing. But the real test, the one that determines who you will become, is how you respond when life takes a turn for the worse. It's when everything falls apart, when your plans crumble and your world seems to collapse, that you discover what you're truly capable of. And I promise you, the darkest hour is just the beginning of your greatest transformation. The key is to remember that darkness doesn't last forever. Nothing in life is permanent. Not the good times, not the bad times. And though it may feel like the weight of the world is crushing you in the moment, you must remind yourself that this too shall pass. The storm will eventually clear, and when it does, you will be stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Every challenge you face, every hardship, is a chance for you to grow. So, when life hits hard, don't retreat. Don't pull back. Step forward. Use this time to build the strength that will carry you through the next challenge and the one after that. Because here's the truth, each challenge you face isn't meant to break you, it's meant to build you. You see, life's greatest lessons aren't found in comfort, they're found in the struggle. They're found in the moments when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you can't go on, and yet you choose to keep moving forward anyway. That's where the real growth happens. And the beauty is, every single person who has ever achieved greatness has been through those dark moments. They've faced their lowest points and found a way to rise again. And just like them, you too have that power within you. When you're in the middle of a storm, it can feel like you're being consumed by it. It's easy to think that the pain will never end, that the weight of the world will never lift. But remember, the darkest hour is just before the dawn. It's in those moments of deepest despair that your greatest breakthroughs are born. The most successful people you admire, those who've made an impact in the world, they've all experienced their own darkest hours. It was in those times of adversity that they were forced to dig deeper, to find the strength they never knew they had, and to keep pushing forward when everything else told them to quit. This is where you learn what you're truly made of. When you're on the edge, when everything seems impossible, that's when you find out how much fight you have left. And if you keep pushing, if you don't give up, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. You'll be amazed at the strength you discover within yourself. The darkest hour is the moment when you decide who you will become. Will you let it defeat you, or will you use it as fuel to rise stronger than ever before? One of the most powerful things you can do when life hits hard is to remember that you are not alone. Everyone has their moments of darkness. Everyone has their struggles. The key is not in avoiding the struggle, but in learning how to navigate it. When you find yourself in the depths, reach out, connect with others, share your story, and listen to theirs. There's a power in community, in knowing that we're all in this together, and that we can draw strength from each other in our darkest hours. You are not alone, and there is always a way forward, even when it feels like there isn't. The next time you find yourself facing a storm, remember this: the storm will pass, but the strength you gain from weathering it will stay with you forever. When life hits hard, it's not the end, it's just the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of your transformation. And when you come out the other side, you'll look back and realize that the darkest hour was the moment that shaped you, the moment that propelled you to greater heights than you ever thought possible. So, when life knocks you down, get back up. Don't let the pain define you. Don't let the darkness take away your light. You have within you everything you need to rise above, to push through, and to transform. And when you do, you'll not only be stronger, but you'll inspire others to do the same. The darkest hour isn't the time to give up. It's the time to rise, to fight, and to show the world just how powerful you truly are. Chapter 14. Redefining Success. Pain is the price you pay for greatness. Success, it's something everyone wants, yet so many never quite reach. Why is that? What is it that separates those who make it from those who fall short? The answer, more often than not, comes down to one key thing: the willingness to pay the price. Success is not something that happens by accident. It's not something that comes easily or quickly. Success is the result of persistence, effort, and yes, pain. The most successful people are not the ones who avoided pain, but the ones who embraced it. They understood that pain is the price you pay for greatness. They knew that without enduring hardship, without pushing through the struggle, there would be no reward on the other side. Greatness doesn't come without sacrifice. It doesn't come without a price. Think about anyone who's achieved anything remarkable, whether it's in business, sports, or life in general. The story is the same. They paid a price. They endured pain. They sacrificed their time, their comfort, and sometimes even their well-being in order to get where they are today. The road to success is paved with obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. But it's those very challenges that give you the strength to succeed. When you push through the pain, when you refuse to quit despite the difficulties, that's when you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving anything. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go the way you want them to. It's easy to think that success should come with ease, that everything should flow smoothly. But the truth is, if you want something truly worth having, you have to be willing to fight for it. You have to be willing to endure the struggle, to face the discomfort, and to keep going even when everything in you wants to give up. Pain is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Everyone experiences pain, but not everyone responds to it the same way. The most successful people are the ones who use pain as fuel, who use it as motivation to keep pushing forward. Pain is not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. Pain is the catalyst for growth. It's the thing that forces you to evolve, to change, and to become better. Without pain, there is no progress. Without struggle, there is no strength. Every time you face a challenge, every time you push through discomfort, you're building the resilience you need to succeed. And every time you overcome an obstacle, you're one step closer to the life you want. Success is not something that comes easily, but it's also not something that is out of your reach. It's available to anyone who is willing to put in the work, to endure the pain, and to keep moving forward, no matter what. If you want to be great, you have to be willing to embrace the hard times. You have to be willing to take on the challenges and keep going even when it feels like you've hit a wall. The moments of struggle are the moments that define you. They are the moments that shape you into the person you need to be in order to achieve success. When you push through the pain, when you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are capable of anything. Success is not about avoiding pain, it's about mastering it. It's about using it to your advantage, using it as a stepping stone to reach your goals. No one achieves greatness without paying the price. The price of success is sacrifice, effort, and sometimes pain. But the reward, the feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment, is worth every ounce of struggle. The key is to embrace the process, to understand that the journey is just as important as the destination. The struggle, the hardships, and the challenges are what make the success meaningful. It's what makes it worth it. Without them, success would be hollow. It would have no depth, no value. Pain is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's the thing that pushes you to become more, to grow stronger, and to achieve more than you ever thought possible. When you realize that success is the price you pay for greatness, you stop seeing pain as a burden and start seeing it as a tool. You start using it to fuel your progress, to fuel your success. And when you do that, you will find that no challenge is too great, no obstacle is too difficult, and no pain is too much to bear. You will find that success is not something that happens to you, it's something that you create. So, the next time you face a setback, a failure, or a moment of pain, remember this: you are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being molded into the person who will achieve the success you've always dreamed of. The pain you are feeling right now is not the end. It's just the beginning of something much greater. It's the price you pay for the greatness that is waiting for you on the other side. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep moving forward. The reward will be worth it. You are capable of achieving greatness, and the pain you're enduring is just a stepping stone on the way to your success. This is the reality of success. It's not easy, it's not quick, but it's worth every ounce of effort. Every bit of pain you endure is one step closer to the life you want. So, don't shy away from the struggle. Don't shy away from the pain. Embrace it, use it, and let it propel you to greatness. The price you pay for success is worth it. The road may be tough, but the reward is greater than you can imagine. And remember, every time you push through the pain, you are getting closer to your true potential, to the success you deserve, and to the life you were meant to live. Chapter 15. The Pain-Proof Life. Living with strength, no matter what comes. Life can throw unimaginable challenges our way, and in the face of difficulty, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, defeated, or even powerless. But what if I told you that the very thing that feels like your greatest obstacle could become your greatest asset? The struggles, the hardships, the pain. What if these are not the things that stand in the way of your success, but instead the very things that can fortify you, that can push you to levels of greatness you never thought possible? The pain-proof life isn't about avoiding life's challenges. It's about learning how to stand tall through them. It's about developing the resilience to move forward, no matter what comes your way. And it's about turning every setback, every difficulty, into the fuel that propels you forward. You've heard it said before, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's more than just a catchy phrase. It's a truth that countless successful people throughout history have lived by. Pain, hardship, and adversity are inevitable parts of life. No one is exempt. The question isn't whether you'll face them. The question is how you'll respond. Will you crumble under the weight of adversity, or will you rise stronger and more determined than ever? The answer lies in how you choose to perceive and react to the pain you face. When you learn to view pain as a teacher instead of an enemy, it transforms your entire approach to life. Think about it. Every challenge you face is an opportunity in disguise. It's an opportunity to grow, to develop new strengths, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. The pain you endure is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of something much greater. Each hardship is a stepping stone on the path to your highest self. The more you push through, the more resilient you become. The more you confront the obstacles that stand before you, the stronger your foundation becomes. You're building a life that can withstand anything. But how do you build this strength? How do you cultivate the mental and emotional toughness that allows you to thrive in the face of adversity? It starts with your mindset. You must stop viewing pain as something to fear and start seeing it as a tool for transformation. When life presents you with a challenge, don't shrink back. Embrace it. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this moment to grow? The more you practice this mindset, the easier it becomes to face challenges head-on. Imagine the power you could unlock if you viewed every setback as an opportunity for growth. When things don't go as planned, when you hit a wall, when everything seems to be falling apart, instead of seeing this as a failure, See it as an invitation to level up. This is where true growth happens. It's not when everything is easy, but when everything is hard, and you still push through. When you refuse to let the difficulties of life define you, you take control of your narrative. You create a story of strength, perseverance, and resilience, and in the end, that story is what will carry you to your goals. The pain-proof life is about developing the mental muscle to endure, to persist, and to keep going when the world is telling you to quit. It's about building a mindset that doesn't crumble under pressure, but instead grows stronger because of it. Pain is not a roadblock. It's the very thing that refines you, shapes you, and prepares you for the success that's waiting on the other side. When you learn to push through pain, you develop a resilience that not only carries you through the difficult times, but also propels you toward greatness. Now, let's talk about action. How do you put this into practice in your daily life? It starts with the small things. It starts with how you respond when you face challenges, both big and small. Do you give up, or do you keep going? Do you let frustration and doubt control you, or do you take charge of your thoughts and emotions? Every time you choose to push through, you're building the mental and emotional muscle that will carry you through even bigger challenges down the road. Start by setting small goals that challenge you, that push you beyond your comfort zone. When you achieve them, celebrate the victory. But don't stop there. Use that momentum to keep moving forward, to keep pushing, to keep growing. And when things don't go as planned, when you face setbacks, don't see them as failures. See them as opportunities to learn and grow. The pain of not achieving your goal is just a stepping stone. It's a moment to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When you change your perspective on pain, you change your relationship with life itself. Remember, the pain-proof life isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about becoming so strong, so resilient, that no matter what life throws your way, you rise above it. It's about developing the mental toughness to stay focused, stay driven, and stay positive even in the face of adversity. The more you push through, the more you strengthen your ability to face whatever comes your way with grace and strength. You don't have to wait for life to get easier. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to begin. The perfect moment is now. It's in this very moment, as you read these words, that you have the power to decide how you will respond to the challenges ahead. Will you let them break you, or will you use them to break through? Will you let pain define you, or will you let it refine you? The choice is yours. Success isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the brave, the resilient, the ones who refuse to give up, even when the road is tough. And when you learn to make pain your ally, to use it as fuel for your growth, there is nothing that can stand in your way. You are capable of far more than you think. Your ability to withstand pain, to rise above adversity, is the key to unlocking your greatest potential. So keep pushing forward. Keep going when it gets hard, because the pain-proof life is not only possible, it's waiting for you. And when you embrace it, you'll discover just how strong you truly are.